Hi, I'm Tae Kang of Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and we are thrilled to continue the conversation with you about AI for your Skilled Trades program and explore the topic further with Jeff Utecht. Jeff is an educational consultant and coach who will share even more insights with you to deepen your understanding of AI and how to best utilize this technology for your Skilled Trades program.
This is such a great question, right? The ethical use of AI and responsible use of AI. What we want to do and what we want to keep centered to our use of AI is what is called a human-centered approach, where we want to keep the human centered in the use of AI. So AI is going to be able to do its thing, but we want to make sure that there's always a human person over top of the AI, making sure that what the AI is doing is correct, making sure that the outcomes are correct, making sure that it seems logical. That's the critical piece that needs to still be taught and that we need to remember as educators, right? We call this a human-centered approach, making sure that we humans are at the center of AI. When I see something online, how do I know what is real and what is fake? We are still in a moment in time where we haven't put in a lot of these structures society-wise to say, oh, well, we have to put a watermark on something, or we have to tell you if it's fake or tell you if it's real. But we can start that work now in our schools by just being transparent. And that goes for us as educators to our kids, because then we want to expect our students to be transparent in their use of AI back to us within our classrooms. I think for right now, the number one thing we need to focus in on, specifically in education, is around the word transparency. That anytime we use AI, we want to be transparent about its use. If I create a quiz for my students with AI, and you should be doing that, tell your students, hey, I used AI to create this quiz. That is being transparent. And when we set an expectation of transparency, both from me to student, then I can expect transparency from student to teacher. That's really what we're focusing on in education, is coming up to this idea of telling students, look, I want you leveraging AI. I know you're going to use AI. Just be transparent in its use of. In our classrooms, in the era of AI, we want this idea of transparency in our classrooms to be the foundational use of the way we use AI. There's a couple things that educators need to do as you get started leveraging AI in your classroom. The first thing is we want to adopt an AI matrix. And you can find them all over the internet. AI matrices are for me as a teacher to be able to say, today on this assignment, you can use AI at a level 1. A level 1 is usually, you can't use any AI on this assignment. All the way to a level 3 or a level 5, where you can co-create things with AI. And as an educator, I can then set the expectation that on today, on this assignment, on the work that we're doing today, AI can be used at this level. When you use it at this level, I then need you to be transparent about your use. Once we set the expectation, then we rely on transparency. Can you actually ever detect whether or not a student used AI? No, you can't. These tools are getting very good. They are writing in the voices of us, of your students. We don't want to rely on AI detector tools to play a gotcha game. What we want to rely on is setting expectations, using an AI matrix that says the expectation is you're going to use AI at whatever level you've decided for this lesson or this assignment today, and then have students be transparent in their use of AI. Some of the ways students can be transparent in their use of AI. They can turn in the prompts that they use. If I'm prompting AI to help me create a blueprint or help me to create a budget for a project, what are the actual prompt that you fed the AI that got you that budget, that got you that blueprint, that got you the code that actually created the 3D printing? What is the prompt? So students can turn in their prompts. Students can turn in their rough draft and say, oh, I used AI for the rough draft, and now here's my final copy, and here's how I changed it from my rough draft of AI. If I ask for the prompt, I can assess understanding, knowledge, conceptual awareness in the prompt that it asked to get something that the AI created that's worth them using. The learning happened in the creation of the prompt. So we want to gather those prompts from kids as a way of showing learning. Let's take it back to another great technology called the internet. We had all of these ways that it was going to disrupt us. There was even a call for, by 2002, we were all going to be huddled in our own little apartments. We were all going to be very pale because we were never going to go out into the sun. That didn't happen. And not only did that not happen, we could not foresee a future where what the internet is today, that it is such a critical part of the way everything gets done. Everything from budgeting to timelines to the way you permit things before you build them. The internet is a part of everything we do. Generative AI is going to be on that same track. We are in the very early stages of what this thing can do. We are only in right now, year 2.5 of really focused in on what generative AI can do. And the limitations, we don't even know what they are yet. The limitations today are because we don't even really understand exactly what this thing can do as we continue to build it out. It's something for us to keep our pulse on. Something for us as trades teachers to be thinking about is the different ways that you're going to be able to use video and even the camera on a cell phone to be able to take a photo of something and say, what is this? Or what part is this? I think there's going to be a lot of ways that we can use video and images within the trades, within our classrooms, to support students in doing work. I think that is something to keep your eye on. And if there's a way for you to leverage that, that right now would be looking towards the future of where I think a lot of this technology is going to go in the trades.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Now let's get to work.